Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And, partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
Throwing now is Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
Ready. 8, read.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he fires one incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Carr completes it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jabal Sheard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
On 4th down, John Gruden says, let's try and get 3 out of this. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's got this down to the 35. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's a run with Ballage. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run here with Ballage. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
These two teams all tied after 1. Balaj. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. Fighting through it, he's got space. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Balaj. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
15 line. 15 line. Set the target defense. Set the fire.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A throw over the middle taken in. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is a well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31.
Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Well, pass complete here to Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside. Ball's delivered.
The ball carrier. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stated...
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle, 55. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Hey, check Mike, check Mike.
Throwing again. Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Carr to throw, and that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. 2nd and 2, rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And down he'll go at the 25. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They're going to look to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's McKinnon on the draw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs, as they'll have to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Then more good stuff to follow later in the afternoon. One good one being under the dome in New Orleans, where it'll be the Saints taking on the LA Chargers. And then finally, a good one on Sunday Night Football between the LA Rams and the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
60 outlaw. He's crossing. He's checking.
On first down, McKinnon. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd and 3. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
On the ready.
First down, Miami.
They'll run on first down. McKinnon, and only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Now a short one to Gesicki, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Now the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. First throw now for the backup Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This one from 46 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. Does the big boy have the juice? 30. The 20.
Sometimes you're never quite sure there's actually scheme that got the ball blocked. But I know one thing. The special teams coach, he's going to take the pats on the back for it anyway.
It's always interesting to watch after the block, the scramble for the football. Nice job there. They kept their wherewithal, got it, able to return it.
And on that, he can take the pats on the back because once you get the block, everything that happens from there is really controlled chaos. And you try and control it through your practice, through your teaching, and understand, expect to get the block. And once we do, this is how we respond.
Carr going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Defense. That penalty is declined.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. They'll run it with Jacobs. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And his kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Defense.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now a short one to Gesicki. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So line of scrimmage still a 39 on 2nd and 10. Second down, McKinnon. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
They'll roll, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cleveland Farrell with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. On first down, Richard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Richard. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And down inside the 15 he goes. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Ship.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Richard. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
From the gun on 3rd down. Carr to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm going to hit you.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. He'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Parker. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got him bracketed out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down now, McKinnon trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. From the 17, Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Caught by Wilson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it. Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And this is Parker, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So Carr and the Raiders now down 13-9. A minute 50 to play. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. This is Richard. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He's back to throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. To throw is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw, Carr. His throw incomplete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
65.
Carr to throw. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Dolphins, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.